Hi YouTube, this is Danielle, the domestic scientist. In today's video, I have a kitchen experiment. I'm going to create a lemon poppy seed French toast. Now, Pepperidge Farm just released a breakfast bread with a lemon poppy seed flavor. I happen to love lemons and I really love lemon poppy seed muffins. So when I saw this bread, I was super excited and I thought it would be perfect to try a French toast recipe. So for the very first time, I'm going to unbox this bread. I'm going to give you a review. I'm going to use it to make a lemon poppy seed French toast, and I'm going to make for the first time a homemade lemon syrup to go with my French toast. So we've got a lot of things to cover today, so let's get started. So here's the inspiration for today's cooking experiment. I came across a Pepperidge Farm breakfast bread with a lemon poppy flavor. So I'm really excited about trying this out. I know this is a new release for Pepperidge Farm, and they have a number of other breakfast breads out there that are great, and I'm actually going to do some other videos with some of the ones that I do like to use. But this one is new and I'm super excited about it. Now, I happen to love lemon flavored items. I happen to love lemonade and lemon poppy seed muffins and other lemon desserts, lemon cookies. Like, I'm just a lemon fanatic. So I'm really excited and I'm hoping this has a robust lemon flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and get started unpackaging this loaf of bread. Now, I will point out that Pepperidge Farm uses a standard bag for their loaf of bread, but on the inside it is shrink wrapped, which I personally appreciate. I think it helps keep the loaf together and my bread is less likely to get smushed. So I really appreciate that. And already I can smell a really strong lemon scent coming from the bread, and I'm looking at the color. It's a mild yellow color, not too many poppy seeds, but definitely enough to be noticeable. And it has a great smell and a great texture. So I can't wait to go ahead and get started using this in my French toast. So I am going to go ahead and get started making my French toast. I am super excited about it, but this is a cook with me and a kitchen experiment. So I don't have like a defined recipe. I'm just going to whip it up and kind of make a recipe up a little bit as I go along. And you're going to see that I don't measure anything. So, you know, as one YouTuber says, you got to let the spirit lead you when you're in the kitchen. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some eggs. Now, I know that I'm going to cook this whole loaf and make French toast out of it. So I have 6 eggs in a bowl, but I don't whisk them. So that's very important that you just put your eggs in first and don't whisk. So even though I'm not going to measure anything and I don't have a defined recipe, I can be assured that my French toast is going to be amazing because I use good ingredients in my custard. So I am going to use this flavored coffee creamer to enhance my custard flavor. And today I'm using a French vanilla from Coffemate, and I'm using French vanilla because it's a very mild flavor and it's not really going to compete too much with that lemon poppy seed flavor that's already in the bread. Now, I started making my custard using coffee creamer a while ago because I'm not really an egg person and I don't really care for French toast that much because it tastes too eggy. And I put some in as a substitution and it was amazing. So now I just use flavored coffee creamers to make sure that my custard is infused with flavor that is in a liquid format that will certainly penetrate the bread, and then you get a nice even flavor. Now, I don't measure how much creamer I put in. I put my eggs down first and then I start pouring and watch the creamer make its way all the way around the bowl. And once I've seen that creamer migrate all around each of the egg yolks, that's when I stop pouring. So that's kind of how I do it. But, you know, if you like it a little bit more eggy, you can use less creamer, or you can use more creamer if you want a little bit less of an egg taste. So now I'm going to add some lemon zest into my custard. Now, I happen to really like lemons, but this is the time where I have to think carefully about my flavor balance for my dish. Now, I'm using the foundation of this lemon poppy seed bread by Pepperidge Farm, and I did taste it plain. It is really good. It tastes like a bread, so it doesn't have a muffin taste or any type of a muffin texture, but it tastes like a bread with a mild lemon flavor and some mild poppy seed flavor, and neither one is overpowering. And it's also not sweet. So it's really great if you want to use it for a sweet dish or if you want to use it for a savory dish. I'm going to go ahead and start whisking in all of this lemon zest, and I'm incorporating all of my coffee creamer in with my eggs and make sure that my yolks are fully destroyed. Now, another reason why I like to take the time to whisk, and I like to whisk a little aggressively on this one, is because I want to make sure that the lemon zest really gets a chance to infuse into the custard. The lemon peels do contain a good amount of lemon oil, and I want to make sure they have a chance to fully infuse into my custard. So now that I have whisked all of my lemon zest into my custard, I'm going to go ahead and start soaking my toast. Now I have a plain shallow pan that I like to use where it has a pretty wide amount of surface area so that I can fit multiple pieces of bread in side by side. I pour about half of the container in at the bottom just to leave a base down there, and then I'm going to go ahead and start putting my toast right on top of this custard. So I think layering my bread in custard this way really seems to enhance the absorption of the custard into the bread, because the bread gets a chance to soak up moisture from the bottom and from the top. Now I know that there are other tricks to increase your absorption of custard. Some people set theirs overnight, which I wouldn't recommend, because the slices of bread are a nice medium amount. Like, it's not too thin, it's not too thick, but I don't want it to be so full with custard that it's too difficult to lift from the pan and too difficult to flip. And I also don't want it too wet to the point where I can't really get it to cook thoroughly in the middle. And this bread is not particularly spongy like a challah bread, so I think, a good 15-minute soak will get the job done. Okay, so my French toast has been setting for about 15 minutes and I'm ready to start frying them. Now you have to be really careful when you lift them out of the tray because they're heavy with custard and they can break very easily. I'm going to fry these on a low heat in my saute pan from Calphalon, and I'm choosing to use this nonstick pan because it has a very large surface area. So I have my temperature on my gas stove to about a medium to low heat, and the key to cooking French toast is to make sure you cook it low and slow, because you want the heat to travel all through the toast and to really cook the egg thoroughly on the inside without burning the outside. And then we're just going to let it cook. It's probably going to take maybe 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And now I'm going to make some homemade syrup. The first thing I did is I got out my little butter warmer pan, and then I'm just going to add to that pan about 1/3 cup of sugar. Now I used my 1/3 cup measuring cup, but I actually didn't fill it up because I didn't want to use too much sugar. Now I have it on a low heat, and I'm going to come in and I'm just going to put a little bit of water, just a few tablespoons of water, and I'm going to let it slowly cook. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start zesting some more lemon because I want to make sure my syrup has a very robust lemon flavor. So for this syrup recipe, I'm going to zest about 1.5 lemons again, and these lemons are fairly small. So I'm just going to make sure that I get as much of it as I can. And I am cooking this syrup on a very low temperature because I don't want it to burn, and I want it to start bubbling a little bit and reducing so that it cooks off a lot of the excess water. The lemon zest is smelling amazing in here. I'm going to go ahead and flip over my French toast from my pan, and I do like to keep them side by side so I can keep an eye on them. I'm going to just leave it on low and let it simmer so that it can reduce and I can get a thicker syrup. So while my syrup is reducing, I'm going to go ahead and start setting the table because this French toast will be done in no time. I'm going to do a really affordable lemon look. I'm using some green placemats that I purchased from my local Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to top it with these DIY chargers that I made. Now these chargers came from Dollar Tree, and I just did some paint applications on them to kind of give it a little bit of a sunflower look. And I think it's going to add a really nice pop of yellow to complement this whole lemon theme that I'm going for today. So to each of my place settings, I'm going to add a plain white dinner plate. Now these are 10 Strawberry Street dinner plates, and I found these at my Tuesday morning, so they were super affordable. I'm going to go around and add some water glasses, and those are also from Dollar Tree, so it's very affordable as well. So because this is a very simple breakfast table look, I'm only going to use a knife and fork for my silverware, and I did purchase those from Wayfair. So I'm going to top off each place setting with this gorgeous green salad plate that I found at my local Hobby Lobby. And then the last thing I'm going to add to my tablescape are these lemon napkins. I found those earlier this year at my local Home Goods, and they were super affordable and really cute. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, the French toast is looking nice and golden, and my syrup is starting to thicken up a little bit. So I think we will be ready to eat in. We're going to go ahead and wrap up our kitchen experiment. I'm going to say this went extremely well. I think the French toast was delicious. It was mind-blowing. I have never had a lemon French toast, and this did not disappoint, not in the least. I will say the first thing is that bread from Pepperidge Farm is everything. I will definitely be buying it again, and actually I'm even more excited to try some of their other seasonal varieties. So the bread did very well soaking up the custard. It was the perfect width and consistency, and I think that it just brought everything together. I think the addition of that extra lemon zest in my custard was perfect. It was not overwhelming, but it really brought more lemon to the table. And the syrup. Now the syrup put it over the top for me. It had a really good, strong flavor of lemon, and I was absolutely in love with it. That syrup was so good. It makes me want to make something else like a pancake or another French toast and make my own syrup again, because it was just amazing and it was so good. It tastes like you could just put some water in it and make lemonade. Absolutely delicious. So now I'd like to hear from you. Leave a comment in the box below and let me know what you think of my lemon poppy seed French toast video. So I am Danielle, the domestic scientist, and I have a lifestyle channel here on YouTube. If you liked today's video, remember to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and remember to subscribe. I'll see you next time.